Hey everybody, this is going to be a difficult video for me to do. It requires what's known as vulnerability, which is fun to portray on screen, but when you are doing it in real life, a little harder. Normally I make a bunch of cuts in my videos, so that it's not too much of a time investment. You know, you get it out and you chop it up so it's very clean and fast. But this one, I'm just going to roll with it. I'm not going to make cuts so that it is as much as possible like you're sitting in the room with me, which would be a lot of fun if we could figure that out. So, what am I talking about? Well, first off, I wanted to thank all of you who over the weekend really came through for me when I asked for YouTube subscribers. For those of you who are not aware, I had been looking for ways to increase revenue sources because I'm doing acting, composing, social media stuff full time. And so I had put a request out there for anyone and everyone to subscribe to my YouTube so I could monetize my channel. So I wanted 75 subscribers by the end of the day. That was my goal when I posted the video last Thursday. And within, 39 minutes or something, I had reached my goal, which was like 2 subscribers every minute, something like that. It was crazy. And then it went well beyond that. So now it's at like 1.44 thousand, which what is that, 1,440? So well surpassed the goal and received a lot of incredible feedback from it as well. And I wanted to let everyone know that it was timed well. For someone who doesn't cry very often, ask my wife, it made me emotional to see everyone respond so quickly, as well as the incredibly encouraging comments as to why many of you have followed my content for years. So I was very encouraged, and it came at the right time, which is the main reason I'm sharing this video as well. I want all of you to realize and to recognize that I am not always the person you see on screen. I think it's important and this for me happens once a year, this kind of video, a couple times a year. I don't know. I don't remember the last time I made a video like this. But I just think it's important, especially for anyone who has a platform, to be fully transparent without hosting a pity party for yourself. That's not what I do. I don't like pity parties. But being honest with the people who follow you, that life is not all, what's the right word? Peacocks and puppies. Does that work? Sure. It's not. I think a lot of people, when they watch my stuff, because I do comedy for one thing, they think I'm always up. Not true. As well as just being in the entertainment industry, it's easy to assume that it's glamorous most of the time and a lot of fun, and that's not always the case either. So this past month has been one of the hardest, I would say, since leaping into this full-time this past March. And that's for a variety of different reasons. But there's, how do I say this? It's hard for me not to look sometimes at the world around me, especially here in the Midwest. I think that plays a big part of why the stress is probably magnified. Not that people who are in LA or Atlanta, other places where the entertainment hub is strong, not that it's not stressful for them, but being in Iowa and pursuing what I'm pursuing, married with 4 children, there is, it's magnified. It feels magnified because this is not where all of it's happening. So everything I'm trying to get, everything I'm acquiring is outside of the state. Mostly, I do some regional stuff here, which I love. But it is stressful. I'll just put it that way. And sometimes it is overwhelmingly stressful. And recently, when I know it's getting, when it's elevating, is when my kids notice. And there's something about your children when they recognize that, Dad, why are you stressed? Or, Dad, is everything okay? Dad, I wish you, this happened just recently, how can I make you not stress, Dad? And these questions that my kids ask that they have no control over. They don't know all that there is, that all that's involved with being an adult and a husband and a father and the main moneymaker of the family. And they shouldn't. Like, that's not their phase of life they're in. I want them to not have to worry about those things. So hearing those kind of things and recognizing those kind of things, it makes me want to, just embrace all that there is, all that it means to be doing what I'm doing. I want to embrace the joy of it, because I can't tell you how rewarding and fulfilling it's been to pursue what I'm doing, because I feel like the Lord has wired me to do this, but also embracing the difficulty of it and allowing that to spur me on to do better, because that really does separate the people who are able to do it and those who aren't. It's easy to give up. It's easy to say, this is too hard and I can't do this. It's not easy to face those hardships and say, well, I got to figure this out. Not just abandon ship. I need to work harder or redirect or try something new for a while. And that's the phase I would say I'm in, trying to figure out what's next. I have always said this. If I wrote an autobiography about myself, which I'm nowhere near wanting to do or trying to do, I would call it On the Verge. Because that's what I feel like I've been for so long. And that's just, there's things always in the wings. And I've done so many things that I'm so grateful for and I love. And I'm so proud to have been a part of. But as far as getting to that, like, you don't really need to worry about every next gig. That has felt imminent for a while. But I'm not there yet. And so I guess all I'm trying to say is I want you, those of you who are down and not feeling worthy or valuable, or you compare yourself to people online all the time and think, I'm not as beautiful, I'm not as funny, I'm not as successful, blah, 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 blah. Please know, and I'm kind of all over this place. I'm all over this place. All over the place, but in conclusion, that all the people you admire and respect and look up to on social media are human too, and fail and struggle. And they're not always who you think they are. And that puts us all on the same level. We are all fighting the same fight. We are all doing the best with what we have. And I would encourage you, instead of idolizing people on social media and looking to them to be some sort of rock for you, Jesus Christ is the only one that can affect any change in your life. Eternal, securing your future after death. He's the only one that can do that. But he's also the only one that can change your life circumstances. And that is something I've been very mindful of recently. I need to anchor myself in him. And there's something incredibly, it's a weird paradox where you're like, life's really hard, but I fully trust that the Lord's going to do something. And to the most of the world, they'd be like, "What? Doesn't make sense." But the Lord has so faithfully provided for me and my family through so many different things, so many different phases of life. And sometimes I look back on the past 10 years of marriage and starting a family and doing all the different types of work I've done. And I'm like, what in the world? But it's for a very specific purpose. And I absolutely trust that the Lord has me going through what he's having me go through to shape me and mold me into the man he wants me to be. So that's a long way of saying, I hope this encourages you in some way, shape, or form. And I want to thank you for everyone who has taken the time, again, to subscribe, to send sweet, encouraging, affirming messages, and also ask you to pray for me. And pray for new opportunities, pray for new different types of work, that I would connect with the right people, with the right projects that would be a great fit for me, and just that the Lord would continue to provide. If you would add me to your consistent prayer list, if I'm not already on there. Some of you have already told me I am on, which blows my mind. But that's all I think I want to say right now. Thank you for anyone and everyone who has sat with me this long. I have no idea how long it is, but I appreciate you. Okay, I'm done. I'm going to stop talking. Thank you all. I hope you have a wonderful week and a great start to your new year. Happy 2023.